Yeah, well, Stephanie, Tina Kotek says that she's working with the Ethics Commission now to determine what's appropriate and what role her own spouse can have in her office. She says once they're able to clarify what a wife or a spouse is able to do, they'll be able to understand better what her own wife can do in Kotek's administration.
We're figuring this out as we go.
A little more than a week after reports Governor Tina Kotek is creating an office for her wife, Amy Kotek Wilson, the governor is looking for clarity on possible roles a first spouse can hold.
There has been no guidance from the Oregon Government Ethics Commission on what is appropriate for the role of a first spouse since the first spouse was made a public official.
On Friday, Governor Kotek will submit questions to the Ethics Commission. It's not yet clear what the questions will be. Kotek's decision to create an office of the first spouse coincides with changes in her own office, with 3 staff members, including Kotek's chief of staff, stepping down late last month. Kotek pushed back on the reasoning for those resignations.
Those are personnel decisions, and I have not commented on that.
And for the first time Wednesday, Kotek said publicly her wife could help Oregon battle its addiction crisis. With a master's degree in behavioral health and experience with Oregon's behavioral challenges.
I think her professional experience and lived experience, we need to understand how that can be added into the mix to actually solve problems for Oregonians.
Kotek Wilson's role will be as an unpaid volunteer, though she has a paid advisor who will work with Kotek Wilson over the next 6 months to establish the office of the first spouse. And last month, Kotek directed Oregon State Police to provide security for all events Kotek Wilson attends.
It is commonplace in other states that first spouses have security protection.
Still, in 2015, Governor John Kitzhaber resigned amid a scandal over his fiance's role in his administration. Governor Tina Kotek, then House Speaker, was among those who called for his resignation. And when asked Wednesday if spouses of agency directors should have roles, she said no, though she didn't see a connection between that and the office of the spouse she's creating.
I don't believe it's apples to apples and you're talking about the spouses of directors of agencies. I guess I don't see the comparison.
So, as Kotek says, they're still trying to determine what the role will be for her spouse, and those questions that are going to be submitted to the Ethics Commission on Friday will be available publicly that same day. Guys?
All right, Thomas, thanks a lot.